All right, excellent. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the February 18th, 2026 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I'd like to go ahead and call the meeting to order. So if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Item 3, just to identify any potential conflicts of interest with today's agenda item, if there's anybody. Seeing there's nothing. Item number 4, approval of the Board of Appeal minutes from January 21, 2026.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we hear a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve and a second for the January 21 appeal minutes from last month. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. All right, so the minutes pass. Before we get started on item number 5, I want to make a note here. I was just informed a couple minutes ago that one of our long-term members here, Ed Surik, has decided it's time for him to step down. So we greatly appreciate your time here and your service, Ed. It's been a bunch of years. Yeah, so we do appreciate your time here and all of your insight and your participation. So we wish you the best with everything. So yeah, thank you very much. All right, item number 5, we have a variance application by Jessica Christel, is that correct? And Jackie Bauman requesting to expand their driveway to intrude on their side yard paving setback located at 2324 Broadway Avenue. So whoever would like to step up to the podium, let us know what we have going on today.
Thank you for your time today. I'm Jessica Crystal, and this is Jackie Bauman, the owners of the residents at 2324 Broadway. I became permanently totally disabled 2 years ago, and currently we've been living at the residence for about 8 years, and our driveway is very small for the width. You can fit roughly just a small, tiny car in it, and when you try to get out either side of the car, you're immediately onto the grass. It's maybe 6 feet wide at that. Looking to expand it to up to 18 feet. It would basically, to the east side, go about 1 more foot. That would be even with the front of the garage where the garage comes out, but expanding it more so to the west side up to about 6 inches away from the property line. I believe I submitted in signatures of all my neighbors that it would possibly affect. The neighbor that's directly to the east of it is 100% in favor from what he tells us, and his wife, they're okay with it. It's just extremely dangerous for me. There's days I wake up, I can't move at all and need 100% assistance, and there's days I can walk perfectly fine. I've been getting in and out of the vehicle down on the road, and I've fallen numerous times, which hasn't been fun, especially with this, like, city buses and the cars coming around the corner there. They don't necessarily stop at that stop sign, and they like to come pretty fast. So I'm just kind of doing it for safety purposes. With expansion to the west side where I want to go, it allows me to have a 0 entry into the back side of my house, as well as I can still enter from the front side of the house. It's not 0 entry to the front, but the expansion to the west would allow 0 entry. So that's what I'm requesting.
Thank you. All right, do we have any questions or any?
I just have a question.
Oh, yep. I'm sorry, Marcus beat you to it real quick.
Do you currently use a vehicle or a van that has a wheelchair?
Currently, my necessities are wheelchair, scooter. I do not currently have a lift. Currently, my friend and my mother that take care of me put it in and out of the vehicle themselves. Once this gets approved and I can actually do it, then I will be purchasing a van. It would be a Chrysler Pacifica. That width of that vehicle is actually 7 feet. And then the width of the length of the lift that would expand off of it would be roughly 5 feet. So that would leave me about 6 feet for 3 feet on one side of the vehicle and 3 feet for on the other side of the vehicle to maneuver and get out and by myself.
Thank you.
Yep.
Marcus.
I've got a question for staff. Why are we not approving this?
The paving setback is 3 feet, so we need to maintain a 3-foot distance from that side property line.
And is there a plan for a curb? I know you guys like to see that sometimes on the edge keep water runoff from the neighbor?
There's no curb on the plans. If this were to be approved, we would request a curb and for it to be pitched to drain away from the neighboring property. But current plans do not propose a curb.
Would that be an issue?
I will do whatever is needed to make it work. I guess I wasn't told of a curb that would be needed in between. Obviously, 100% I would pitch everything to go away from everybody so nobody has any issues, and I would do anything that's needed. But I did not know about the curb.
Okay.
The neighbor to the west is higher.
You'll have to step up if we want to hear.
The neighbor to the west of us that it would impact is actually higher than us.
Oh.
So I guess if it's pitching like possibly down to the road, then I don't know, but I would do whatever pitching is needed.
I just don't know if that would be an issue with the ramp to come out of your car. It should be okay.
Yeah, the ramp is set, I mean, obviously, depending if you back in or drive forward, it would come off both sides of the car, but essentially I would want it to come off of the east side of the car, and that is mostly flat on that area. But if you did have me pitch and put a curb in between myself as well as the neighbor on the west, it would be interesting. But again, I will do whatever is needed to get it done.
Okay, yep, Ted.
Question for staff. Is the only issue the additional 2.5 feet on the one side? Is everything else fine?
Yeah, the issue is that we're 6 inches from that side property line. We're not
Yep.
worried about anything on the other side of the driveway. If this could be cut back 2.5 feet, we would be okay.
So in order to be compliant, it only needs to be cut back by 2.5 feet.
Correct.
So it would still be 15.5 feet wide. Okay. Does the staff have a recommendation?
Staff would not recommend approval based on the fact that there is a lack of a property hardship.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yes.
If we did cut it back the 2.5 feet, which we did discuss with the contractor as well as with my doctor at many appointments with visuals and such, the issue is currently I rely solely on a friend and my mother to care for me. And this would provide for me to be able to care for myself and not have anybody assist me. So in that fact, if I were to drive the vehicle in by myself and cut it back 2.5 feet, in order for me to use the ramp properly off of the vehicle, I would then be getting out of the driver's side of the vehicle onto grass or curb or whatever it is that you would make me do on that side.
And that's an issue
It's
for your safety.
my safety issue is huge.
There's your hardship.
Well,
We have a
I would-
comment from our city attorney real quick.
Oh, okay.
Hi. So this is, as she stated, this is a request for a variance, but also at play is the Americans with Disabilities Act and the city's obligations to make a reasonable accommodation. So if the staff is comfortable with, if the only issue is the setback and staff is comfortable with a curb as preventing nuisance water runoff issues with the adjoining property, then I think the body could lawfully grant the variance in this case. I also believe the new zoning code should be more permissive for driveways like this. So if the body is not interested in that today, but wants to revisit that with the new zoning code, that would be viable. But my preference would be that the body acts today.
I
Thank you.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Any other questions?
I want to revisit the 2.5 foot reduction. It seems, based on the dimensions provided, the 7 feet for the van, an additional 5 feet for a ramp, there would still be 3.5 feet remaining, which one person could, I think, get out on one side of the vehicle. So, I mean, it would depend perhaps on whether a person pulled in or backed in. But with 2.5 feet, I mean, I can see a convenience factor, but not still a safety factor. It seems that there would still be plenty of room for safe access if there was still the 3.5 feet remaining on one side of the vehicle. Thoughts?
See, if she wants to operate the vehicle on her own, I'm not defending what you're saying, ma'am. I'm just trying to clarify.
Appreciate it.
That if she wants to take care of herself, she needs to exit that vehicle, but then also needs to get her chair out of a different side. So like, it's not on the same side that she's going to be able to get in the vehicle and then be able to drive it.
Does the chair exit the vehicle from a different side than the driver does?
It will exit from the passenger side. So that's why I would need that distance on the driver's side as well as the passenger side, because I will physically have to get out of the driver's side, get around the vehicle to come out onto the lift side of the passenger side of the vehicle.
Okay, so you will be exiting from the opposite side.
Correct. So I wouldn't be able to pull the vehicle like all the way to one side to like safely get out the lift side.
Okay.
Because I have to actually physically get out to do it.
Okay, and legally, we don't have any overt concerns with the proposal?
No.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so right now, we have a motion to approve in a second. Do we have any further discussion? All right, hearing nothing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, hearing none, the motion does pass. So just, I guess you'll just stop by the city and get the required permitting and discussion about the curb, go over those details. Otherwise, the motion has passed, so you are good to go. Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
Or my microphone, thanks.
You have to adjust
So the motion was to approve. If you want to impose conditions, you'll need to include those in your motion.
the curb.
My motion did not include any of those. So how she presented it is how I approved it.
Okay, so then
Motion to approve it.
and then I guess the question is whether the elevation of this property and the elevation of the neighboring property would create a water draining nuisance, and I'll refer to a lease on that, and then whether the body wants to act in light of that.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the grading between these two properties. I don't feel that I could comment on that at this point in time, so I'm not sure what that looks like.
So then one safe option could be that the motion be amended to impose an obligation on the property owner to design the driveway extension and the driveway apron so as not to create a nuisance. And then she can work with her contractor in whatever fashion is appropriate.
We can do that. We could amend.
Could you describe what your neighbor's properties are? I went by your.
Sure, yep.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so my property where I'm on the north side of Broadway and I come out driving south. And then the property that is involved is directly to the west. Their backyard is up to my property line. So their house faces the west and I face the south. So with their property in the backyard, they are much higher because their property comes down from Good Shepherd Church, which is a lot higher elevation, drains down into their yard, which then drains down into my yard. When you come out to my front yard and their side yard, they still are higher than I am, but not as increasingly as high as the backyard. If I have any chance to say anything about it, I think a curb would be extremely difficult to put in there. Obviously, I'm not an expert contractor, but again, I worry about if putting a curb in there would then encroach upon that distance for me to be able to get out safely, because now I have to worry about falling and tripping over a curb onto grass. But I, again, will repeat, I will do everything and anything in my power to get this to happen.
Okay. My motion still stands the way it is.
Bless you. I would think that if there's anything that has to be adjusted, it would be dealt with when she goes in to discuss with the city. So they may or may not decide that it's required, I think, right? So absolutely, based on the elevation of the neighboring properties.
But if we've approved as is,
Yeah.
I don't think that, I mean, if they go in there and it's been approved, the city can't then impose a curb requirement, can they?
No.
That's correct.
So right now, we have
The broadest way to authorize what you're asking for, Commissioner Sampson, is to have the approval contingent on any restrictions imposed by the building inspector to prevent a nuisance.
Could we do that?
we could.
Makes sense, I think.
I'd make a motion to add that amendment.
Okay, so we have a motion to add the amended language. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to amend the language and a second. Do we have any further conversation? All right, hearing none. All in favor of adding?
Before we approve another one, could the city weigh in on what we just approved so that we don't need to make an amendment to the motion?
So Robert's rules, it's a lot of fun. We had a main motion, and that was to approve. That motion was acted on by a full vote. So we would first do a motion to reconsider or a motion to rescind in order to to open it up for the motion to amend.
I'll make a motion to rescind.
Seconded.
Okay, so we have a motion to rescind and a second.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yes, but we should. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, so now we have the rescinded motion. So now we can make an amendment to that. Or do we?
Nope, so now you're.
Now we can just open.
we
all
make a
new,
new-
so
Now we just make a new motion.
I will make a new motion. So I will make a new motion accepting as the applicant has given her application with the amendment that,
Nope, you don't even need to do that.
or
So-
with the condition that there is no nuisance to the neighbors.
Yes.
Okay. Is that
So motion
correct?
that there is no nuisance.
Just in case, so there's contingency, so it's built into the motion. All right. Okay, so we have a motion to approve and a second with that contingency attached to it. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, hearing none. Okay, so now the motion's been approved with the contingency that if there's anything that needs to be addressed.
Can't cause a nuisance.
Okay, so just go through the building inspector, they say it's good, we're good?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you so much for your
Okay,
time.
we're all set. Thank you very much. All right, let's see, item 6, where our next scheduled meeting is March 18th, 2026, 4 o'clock, same place. And we have item 7, motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Do I hear a second? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.